Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Learn English with Ted and Emma. Today we have something really special. English Shadowing Marathon. Shadowing is one of the most powerful techniques for improving your English speaking. You listen and repeat at the same time. You copy the sounds, the rhythm, the speed. Today, Ted and I are going to have 5 real conversations on 5 different topics. And you can shadow along with us the whole time. All you have to do is listen and repeat after us. Ready? Let us go. Hello, Ted. Ready for the marathon today?
Completely ready. I have my coffee. I am very comfortable. Let us do this.
So for everyone at home, today we are having 5 conversations. Real, natural conversations. And you shadow along.
Shadowing means you repeat what you hear right away. You copy the sounds and the rhythm.
You do not need to understand every word at first. Just listen. Copy. Feel how English sounds.
And the more you do it, the more natural English starts to feel. I really notice it now. My speaking feels smoother.
That is exactly what shadowing does. It builds a kind of muscle memory for language.
Your mouth learns the shapes before your brain even has to think about it.
Okay, topic 1. Morning routines. Let us talk about mornings. Ted, what does your typical morning look like?
Honestly, my morning starts with a battle. The alarm goes off. I turn it off. I go back to sleep.
How many times does your alarm go off before you actually get up?
3 times minimum, sometimes 4. On a bad day, 5.
Ted, you set 5 alarms?
I set them 15 minutes apart. So technically I get a lot of small sleeps in the morning.
That is not how sleep works.
It works for me. I feel very rested by alarm number 5.
I find that very hard to believe. I wake up naturally at about 6:30. No alarm usually.
That is not normal. That is a superpower.
I just like mornings. I have a cup of tea and I sit by the window for a while before I do anything else.
That does sound quite nice actually. Very peaceful.
It is my favorite part of the day. The house is quiet, the light is coming in, everything is calm before the day starts.
I would love mornings like that. I just cannot make myself wake up early enough to enjoy them.
What do you do once you are finally out of bed?
Coffee. Immediately. Nothing happens before the coffee. The coffee is not optional.
I do understand that. Even tea people understand the coffee people on that one.
After the coffee, I check my messages. Then I have breakfast. Then I am ready for the world.
What do you have for breakfast?
It depends on the day. Some days toast, some days yogurt with fruit. Sometimes I make eggs if I have time.
Do you have time to make eggs on a morning when your alarm goes off 5 times?
Usually not. Those days are toast days.
Very honest.
I am always honest. It is one of my best qualities.
Topic 2. Let us talk about cafes. This is a very useful topic for everyday English.
I love cafes. Genuinely. I could live in a good cafe.
What makes a good cafe, in your opinion?
A few things. Good coffee, obviously, but also the atmosphere. The right kind of background noise. Not too loud, not too quiet.
I know what you mean. Some cafes are so quiet that you feel like you cannot talk. Others are so loud you cannot hear yourself think.
The perfect cafe has a gentle hum of conversation. People working on laptops, soft music, something warm in your hands.
You have clearly thought about this a lot.
I spend a lot of time in cafes. It counts as research.
What do you usually order?
A flat white. Every time. I tried to change once. I ordered a cappuccino.
And?
Too much foam. I spent 5 minutes trying to get through the foam to reach the actual coffee underneath.
That is the point of a cappuccino, Ted.
The point should be to deliver coffee to the person, not to make them work for it.
A flat white has much less foam, just a thin layer of velvety steamed milk.
Exactly. Efficient. Straight to the coffee. No obstacles.
I have a flat white or a tea depending on how I feel. If I am tired and need energy, coffee. If I am relaxed and just want something warm, tea.
That is a very organized system.
I like systems.
And food? Do you eat anything at cafes?
Sometimes. I love a good almond croissant if they have them, or a piece of banana bread.
Banana bread. That is my weakness. Warm banana bread with butter is one of the greatest things in the world.
Do you know what I love? When you walk past a cafe and the smell of coffee and fresh baking just hits you.
And you were not planning to go in. But then suddenly you are going in.
And you walk out with a coffee and a pastry you did not plan on buying.
The cafe got you.
The cafe always gets you. Topic 3. Hotels and travel. Ted, you have had some memorable hotel experiences.
Memorable is a very polite word for some of them.
Tell me a good one.
The TV incident is probably the most well-known story. I have told it a few times.
Tell it again. It is a good one.
Okay. I check into a hotel. A very nice hotel, actually. I get to my room. I try to turn on the TV.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens. I press the power button on the remote. Nothing. I press it again. Still nothing. I press every single button on the remote, one by one. Nothing.
He called me. He said, "Emma, I think the TV is broken."
I was very systematic. I had tried everything.
I said, "Ted, is it plugged in?"
There was a pause. A significant pause.
And then?
It was not plugged in.
It was not plugged in.
In my defense, the cable was behind the television stand and the room lighting was quite low.
The plug socket was on the wall. The cable was right there.
I did not look behind the television stand.
No, you did not.
Anyway, after that, everything was perfect. 247 channels.
What do you love most about staying in hotels?
Room service. The concept of room service is one of humanity's greatest achievements. You pick up a phone. You say words. Food arrives at your door.
At 10 o'clock at night after a full dinner.
I was still a little hungry.
He ordered a club sandwich, chips, and a slice of cheesecake.
It was an excellent decision. Every item was excellent. No regrets.
I prefer a good hotel breakfast, a proper buffet, fresh croissants, good coffee, fruit, eggs.
A hotel buffet breakfast is also excellent. We agree on that.
We do agree on that. There is something magical about having 20 options for breakfast.
And someone else made all of it.
That is the best part. Topic 4. Let us talk about weekends. What is your ideal weekend, Ted?
A good weekend for me has a mix of things. I need some time to do absolutely nothing, just rest. And I also need at least one thing that gets me out of the flat.
What kind of thing?
A walk somewhere nice, or going to a bookshop, or meeting a friend for lunch.
I love a walk somewhere new. Even in your own city, there are always places you have not been.
I went to a part of the city a few weeks ago that I had never visited, even though I have lived here for years.
And what was it like?
Really lovely, actually. There was a small market and a canal with ducks.
Ducks are underrated.
Ducks are very underrated. Very calming to watch.
What about Sunday evenings? Do you do anything specific?
Sunday evening is preparation time. I like to have the week slightly organized before Monday arrives.
Same. I find Monday mornings much easier if I have looked at my week on Sunday night.
And I usually cook something on Sunday. A proper meal. Something that takes time.
What kind of thing?
A soup or a stew. Something you can leave on the stove for a while. The smell fills the whole flat.
That sounds wonderful. I do the same. I find cooking quite meditative on a Sunday.
Meditative, meaning it quiets the mind. You are focused on what you are doing, but in a very relaxed way.
Exactly. You are chopping vegetables, stirring something. You are not thinking about emails or tomorrow's plans.
Just cooking. And probably listening to something good.
What do you listen to while you cook?
Podcasts, usually. Or music, depending on my mood.
English podcasts?
Always English. Even when I am cooking. Everything I can do in English, I try to do in English.
Last topic, holiday planning. Where do you most want to go, Ted?
Iceland. I have wanted to go to Iceland for years.
The Northern Lights?
The Northern Lights, yes. But also the landscapes, the waterfalls, the geysers. The whole place looks like another planet.
It really does. I have seen photographs and it almost looks unreal.
Exactly. Too beautiful to be on Earth. I want to stand in the middle of all that.
When would you want to go?
Winter. You need dark skies to see the Northern Lights. November, December, January.
And it would be very cold.
Very cold. But I think that would make it more special somehow. Standing in the dark and the cold, watching lights move across the sky.
That does sound magical. What about you? Where do you most want to go?
You.
Somewhere warm. Somewhere with a slow pace of life. I have been thinking about the south of Portugal, the Algarve.
We went to Lisbon together and it was wonderful.
Wonderful but busy. Lisbon is a city. I want the coast. Long, empty beaches, warm, clear water, fresh fish grilled simply.
That also sounds perfect. Completely different from Iceland, but perfect.
Maybe we should do both.
Iceland in winter, Portugal in summer. One for adventure, one for rest.
That is actually a very good plan.
I have occasional moments of brilliance.
Occasional. And that is our shadowing marathon. 5 topics, real conversations, natural English. Thank you so much for practicing with us today. Remember, the more you shadow, the more natural English starts to feel. Our question for you: which topic was your favorite today? Tell us in the comments. Subscribe and give us a like. We will see you next time.